See, men have the fountain of youth in them. I'm 45 years old, and a lot of people can't believe it. I got 3 grown kids in college. I even got a 24-year-old daughter. And people can't believe it. Believe it or not, swallowing cum keeps you young. When it comes to porn, it's granny porn. I'm a gelf. There's actually 3 Lilith lusts in the industry. One's a black lady, and one's a redhead, and one's me, the granny. My oldest co-star, I think there was maybe a 71-year-old lady. Sex is very vast, and we cover more things than the mind could even imagine. So that's why most sites are huge, because there's all kinds of different genres that can be covered. Granny porn is actually pretty big. It's one of the big genres. I'm an oldie, but I'm a goodie, and I give those young girls a run for their money. Sex with Ron Jeremy is fantastic. He's everything and more that people think of him. His cock is 15 inches long and about 2 inches in girth, and I take it all. Ronnie will be the only one I'd ever marry. I've even told him, I'm open to marriage. We have sex, but not as work, as personal. I got Marquis de Sade's name tattooed on my girl. Like the hair area, just his name. Marquis de Sade was a monarch. He was part of royalty. Some people thought of him as a philosopher. He even added 2 new words to world language. Sodomy, which is getting it anally, and sadism is finding joy and pleasure into giving pain or watching someone getting pain. I myself is kind of a sadist. God rest his soul in France. He's French. One of my slaves, for example, he wanted the torture of 1,000 cuts. And he brought in a special knife for me to cut him with. And he had scars all over him. And I cut him 1,000 times. And he bled out. He would stand on a towel that he brought, and I just started slicing him up. Cock and all. The bottoms of his feet, he wanted me to put the knife in his ass and cut him like that. And that's almost like waist play, and I told him, I'm not going that far. He has to find another dominatrix to do that part. But I'll cut his balls all off if he wants it. The last part in porn was I had to play like an old lady on a pier somewhere, and my co-star was the young man that I was seducing to get him to do what I wanted him to do. The actor was about 21. I had to talk basically like what they call an old fishwife. A fishwife is a fisherman's wife that has to scream real loud for their husbands can hear them at sea. Because it gets over the water, the waves of the ocean and the ship sounds. She has to be loud for him to hear her, an old fishwife. I was pretending like more of an old prostitute on the pier. I don't know how those women do it every day like that. Ugh. I would lose my voice. When it comes to fetishes, it really depends on the person. The sky's not even the limit. You could go to the moon and back and probably circle the moon and the earth. Some clients like to actually be cut and have wounds on their body and have your feces rubbed into the wound so they could get infection. And they have like an infection fetish. So they will have their wounds that you've created in them infected by the feces. And then that's when their turn on will happen, is when they get infection from it. I mean, they get turned on the thought of it, but once the infection hits, they made it to their goal. A couple slaves wanted me to pull a couple fingernails out and 1 toenail out. But you gotta have a special pair of pliers to grip the nail right, or it slide off. I even have bamboo shoots to go up your fingernails and your toenails, because the skin holds the nail really good. So you gotta grip it just right, and you gotta have muscle. You gotta have these to get a good grip and just yank it right out and show them the nail, and they go in agony and they smile. Hearing them scream in agony made me get off. When you dominate your slave, for a woman, it makes our nipples hard, it makes us wet. And it makes us more driven to be more aggressive with their slaves. And to hear more countess, more countess. They beg for more. And he would beg for specific areas, like, please, countess, cut my knee. Please, countess, cut the head of my penis. And I did. Every man wants his own stripper, his own porn star, his own this, his own that. Basically, I was a novelty item. Once he gets it, after a period of time, the novelty wears off. And they find out, oh, she's human. And then there's when the problems start. You gotta stop this, you gotta quit that. You get a normal job. They get jealous and, oh. I've never been dumped. I was always the one dumping because they get real controlling, real smothering, real like they're trying to confine you. We need to go. You go that way, I go this way. Never want to speak to you again. And then have to block, and then have to move, and have to do this, and have to do that to avoid. My ex-husband tried to kill me. He was like, if I can't have you, no one can. He actually wound up killing someone else, and he's in prison now. He's doing life. You notice in a porno, there's a lot of eyes closing. I mean, we open them every now and then, because we got to see where we're at. But most of the time our eyes are closed. The reason being is each one of us are imagining the one man or woman that we're actually attracted to. They can't really excite you because again, it's someone that you're not really choosing to do you. If you're good enough, you could actually put that face on the person that you're working with. We stay wet that way. The fluffers help that job too. It's just a mindset thing. Once you're in the front of the camera, that's when you gotta switch on.